Perhaps, Comrade Program Director, let me begin with this note, the note that says, those who have claimed in the past to be representing an agenda of radical transformation, those who have claimed to be representing the poor of the poorest, those who have claimed to be representing an agenda of economic freedom in our lifetime, have indeed sold out that agenda. Let us underscore the point that it is because we do not seek to govern at all costs, including by selling our souls to the devil, that we rejected and continue to reject the EFF's call for the ANC to forsake its founding principles and fundamental policies and embrace EFF extremism as a condition for governing the Metro of Johannesburg. Had we been powermongers, we would have off-ramped from our path to nation building and national reconciliation and social cohesion and service to the poor. We reject the EFF. In May 2003, a struggle giant passed on. A colossal of the struggle for liberation of all South Africans, Comrade Walter Sisulu, took his last breath. The nation wanted words to describe the calamity that befell the nation. Comrade Thabo Mbeki offered us those words. President Mbeki said, I quote, "Our country and nature herself have been in mourning since that fateful day, the 5th of May, 2003, when Walter Sisulu ceased to breathe. While he lived, there were many in our country who knew nothing about him, except perhaps what they had been told. We challenge death's pride because we know that even as it visits, it rests on all who live, and it can never destroy a human being as just as Walter Sisulu was just. We challenge death's vengeful pride because we know that whatever it might do, it can never remove from our hearts the memories of Walter Sisulu, which deeply entombed in these living hearts are his epitaph that shall pass on from generation to generation, alive, living, and immortal. We stand up to tell death that our black mourning clothes are not a tribute to its vengeance, but a signal of salute to him who was our conscience of courage as we struggle to extricate ourselves from a long night of despair, close quote. We challenge death's certainty that it laid low such an African giant because we who have the gift of knowledge know that the mortal frame of Walter Sisulu has departed our midst, because it would not have been faithful to the natural order of things. Today our nation is placed in exactly the same spot. A giant and a heroine of our struggle has taken a last breath. And once again, our nation, and indeed nature herself, is in mourning. For we gather here this afternoon to confirm the departure of a great human being, the very epitome of a beautiful life lived for humanity. Regional Chairperson of the ANC, Comrade Parkstow, members of the Regional Executive Committee, members of the Gauteng Provincial Executive Committee, leaders of our people, leaders of the leagues of the African National Congress here present, leaders of the Alliance here present, members of Each One Teach One, commanders and commissars of Mkhonto Wesizwe, patriots from other fraternal organizations, comrades and friends. Let me also welcome councillors from other political parties who have joined us today. Allow me therefore, Program Director, on behalf of the membership and leadership of the ANC in Greater Johannesburg, to say to Stompie's family, Tutuzekani, uJehova ubesinikile, uJehova ubuyile uthathile. We must accept that you and me have our own plans, but God decides whether our plans continue or not. We wish to express our heartfelt condolences to the family of Comrade Stompie, to his lovely child, siblings, and to all other people who feel bereaved by her departure. We do know that her family loved her, but they surrendered her to the revolution, to the revolutionary struggle, because they themselves loved freedom even more. Today, as we grieve with them, they can be justly proud of her and of her life. Perhaps it's also important at this moment to share with you that on Monday, the 22nd of August, we requested a caucus in council. We went up to the second floor as councillors of the ANC and leaders of the ANC in Greater Johannesburg. We were 122 in the caucus room. Me, the only one who's not a councillor and still employed. And the news came that Stompie has passed on. And the news had to be relayed. The secretary had to relate the news to the entire caucus of 121 comrades. It was not an easy task. It was one of the most difficult tasks to do on that day. To share the news with the comrades, and the atmosphere completely changed in the room. Men and women could not hold themselves. There were tears and cries throughout. But we had to go back and fight a battle in council. And we said we will go back and nominate and vote for a mayoral candidate, because Stompie would have wanted us to do exactly that. And we did go back, Program Director. I must also share with you at the point when she was not feeling well, when the paramedics arrived, she was refusing to leave. And she said, I will not leave, I must vote first. She grabbed Comrade Justice and said, I am not going, I must vote. Comrade Manhlanhla Mthembu is among the great galaxy of leaders of our people who had given their all to ensure that all our people were liberated from oppression, from poverty and underdevelopment, and the intolerable pain of contempt, of humiliation, of apartheid. She lived and died as an unwavering soldier of humanism, a combatant for a justice cause, a cause to rid her society, country and the world of greed, racism, and oppression by a minority whose sole claim to this despicable conduct was the pigmentation of their skin. She dedicated her entire life to ensure that the only home for the poor, the African National Congress, a movement of the people, remained on course to delivering on its calling. When on a daylight, youngsters she taught to speak, whose very hands and short, they were fed, clothed and washed, colluded with sellouts and soulless individuals whose only justification is rand and dollar reward. Velase called upon the ancestors. She asked the great kings Ushaka, Uqetshwayo, Usikhukhune, uDingane to pave way for her soul. Many in this world may not know who Comrade Stompie is. You might have encountered her. You might have encountered this gentle giant, and because of her humility, you would not have known the role she played in the struggle for national liberation. Her humanism made her to be. Those who knew her, they will tell you that Comrade Stompie belonged to a special breed of the representatives of our people. She belonged among those through the generations who are the best representatives of the recognized nobility of the masses of our people, the representatives who decided that their lives were worth nothing unless they dedicated those lives to the service of all our people. She was amongst those comrades that Comrade Thabo Mbeki describes as, I quote, those who embarked on the long march at the head of the combat columns of liberators, having conquered the fear of what might happen to them at the hands of the oppressors of their people, ready to pay any price for the recovery of the dignity of the harsh conditions of the earth, close quote. Comrades, let me also confirm that on Monday, Johannesburg was literally taken back to 1652. A minority regime in a familiar apartheid style with stooges and puppets, and sellout was installed in an unholy alliance. That is the tragedy that claimed the life of Comrade Stompie. Let me assure you, in the same vein, that we have never been more prepared to serve our people. We are not battle scared. We are committed and well equipped, just like Comrade Stompie would have expected us to carry the battle forward for our people. The temporary Herman Mayor, hair in the sense of hair, should make sure that these masters will now have to come out clean, as we will be going deeper to our roots. The mass character of our movement will be realized now